Hello, welcome to our live conversation today. Today, we are going to be talking about 5 things you can do, 5 specific actions that you can take to improve your English speaking. So, while we're getting together, I'm going to look here in the comments. Welcome, Jamal. Welcome, Jose. Welcome, Sophia. Glad to see everyone here. If you're here live, tell us where you're listening from. I already see people saying this. Carlos, hi from Colombia. I have a student named Carlos from Colombia. Welcome. And if you're listening to the recorded version, let me know in the comments where you're listening from. And is this your first time or have you been with us live before? So, Mexico, welcome. Brazil, welcome. Jose from Brazil. I hope I said it better this time. So, one of the most common questions I get is how can I speak better? Or how can I become more fluent? Or how can I improve my speaking? And there are some specific things you can do to speak better if you're learning English or any language. And the short answer is to speak more. So I like to say this short answer right off the bat. Right off the bat is a great saying. Right off the bat, like a baseball bat, a ball that's right off the bat. So, right in the beginning, I like to say this. I like to remind you of this because you probably know this already. But the reason I like to say it is it can be helpful to remember that every time you're speaking, you're improving your speaking. And so that's something to think about. You don't have to keep learning lots and lots and lots of new words and phrases. Of course, that's great. And for me, that's what makes learning my second language fun. But what you really want to do is practice using what you have already learned. You want to do that a lot and then sprinkle in, add in those new things. So it doesn't have to be the main thing. Of course, you want to find a balance. So I'm going to check in here with those of you who are here live. Welcome. Sophia's here for the first time. We've got people from France, from Orlando, Florida. Where are you originally from? So let's talk about the 5 things. So the first thing, I think this is the thing that most people know about, and that is to work with a teacher. Um, and a lot of people, there might be reasons why you're not working with a teacher. If you are working with a teacher, let me know in the comments. I'm working with a teacher. If you're not, let me know why. Why are you not working with a teacher or a tutor? Um, the reason this is such a helpful thing is you get to practice your speaking with someone who will help you focus on that and let you be the person to speak the most, to practice the most. Hopefully, if you find a good teacher, they're also going to give you some ideas on how to keep practicing your speaking in between classes. And if you get stuck, they're there to help you figure that out so you can keep going. I'm going to give you all the information you need, but most of us also need to be able to ask questions, somebody that we can have that will help us along the way and hold us accountable, which means that they'll they'll help us to make sure we're doing what we said we would do. All right, so Yvonne is saying the number one reason I heard, where I hear a lot, is I can't afford it. And this is a reasonable thing. I totally understand. Before there was the internet and I was really trying to learn Spanish, it was very difficult because I couldn't afford a teacher and there was no internet. There was nothing online. So now there is so much information online. So Yvonne, if you will do what I'm telling you here today in the next 4 suggestions, you will be able to improve your speaking a lot. And if you can't afford a one-on-one class, group classes offer huge help. And I have a lot to say about that. That's not our focus for today, but I just want to encourage you that if you can't afford, if you don't have enough money to go to a one-on-one class, then a group class will help you in a huge way. And in fact, there are many benefits to a group class that you don't get one-on-one. So if you have questions about that, put it in the comments, especially in the comments of the recording, because I have more time that I can respond specifically to that. But definitely put your classes here. Sophia is saying the same thing. I can't afford it. So this is a big reason. So if you cannot afford a teacher, if you cannot afford a tutor, and you cannot afford a group class, and I will say, if you look, you can probably find some very inexpensive group classes. But if you cannot afford that, it's totally understandable. Then the next thing is number 2 is a conversation exchange or a language partner. I have a whole video about this here on YouTube. So I'll put the link to that down below when I put up the recording. But just in brief, I can't say I started, but when I really got serious about learning my second language, which is Spanish, the first thing I did was get a conversation exchange. And I was a beginner and I could say almost nothing. I could say my name, I could introduce myself, I could tell you what I like, that's about it. And I spent a lot of time looking at my language exchange like, because I didn't know what they were saying. And I had to talk with 3 or 4 people before I found someone who was very patient and helped me a lot, and I ended up being a partner with that person for 2 years. And that is hugely valuable. It's when I look back on that, it's hard to believe that that was free because it was very, very, very valuable, and I hope that the value or that the conversation that person got with me was as valuable to her. And I know that it was because if you are teaching someone something, you're learning it at a deeper level. So, a huge question I get is, does the other person have to be a native speaker? And the answer is no. The other person might even be an English learner like yourself. And if you're practicing your speaking, you are improving your speaking. So there's a lot more to talk about this particular piece of the puzzle. But the thing I want to say to you is first, give it a try and do it on a platform where you're speaking with the person. Yes, something like Hello Talk, where you text to each other and send voice messages. That is a great tool. And an even better tool is something like Conversation Exchange. I'm going to write it here, www.conversationexchange.com. It does take some time and some work and some energy to find a partner because for many reasons actually, but be patient, keep looking, send out letters to people you think might be a good partner there on Conversation Exchange, or you can also try italki.com. Italki is a little different because not everyone there is looking for a conversation exchange. A lot of people there are looking for a teacher or they are a teacher, but on Conversation Exchange, hopefully most people are looking for a conversation. Okay. Yes. Kirsten says, I don't have consistency. This is huge in this learning to speak better is you need to be consistent. So choose something you can be consistent with to start with. And that might be more like my number 3, which is to record yourself speaking. So what you want to do is you want to pick a platform. I use Instagram. I created an account that I use for going live and different things like that. And I send myself speaking messages in my second language. Now, I try to speak for about 3 to 5 minutes, but when I started, it was really hard and I would be happy to do 1 minute. So if you're doing 0 minutes now and you start doing 1 minute a week, that's better. Then you can get to 2, then you can get to 3 and just keep getting more. My goal is to do this every day. And guess what? I don't do it every day. So this is what I have learned to do that works for me, that makes it possible for me to make sure I am speaking with myself every day. And that is number 4, talk to yourself without a recording. So I combine number 3 and number 4. And my goal is, I just dropped my phone. My goal is, hold on, to speak on my phone, recording myself every day. And I found that that goal was not realistic. If you've taken a goal setting class with me, you know your goal needs to be realistic, something that you can and will do. That's another whole topic. And I'll probably be talking about that here soon. But if you don't know about that, look up realistic goals on the internet and learn more about that. Read that in English, and that will be a good exercise for you. Um, but basically, it needs to be something that is you can do it and you will do it. And if you find you aren't doing it like I did, I could do it. I could record myself 3 minutes a day, but I wasn't. So instead of giving up on that, what I did is, I asked myself, why is it that I'm not doing what I said I would do? And it's because to be somewhere with my phone where I wasn't driving or trying to sleep or something like that was challenging for me. So I have increased actually my time doing it by giving myself an out. When we give ourselves or someone else an out, we mean we give them a way that they don't have to do it perfectly, or there's other ways we use this phrase, but in this context, I mean I gave myself a way that I could still be successful even though I wasn't doing it exactly how I said. And I found that I started talking a lot more because I was using number 3, recording myself more frequently, and I was using number 4 and speaking to myself a lot every day, several times a day, because I could do that while I'm doing the dishes. I can't hold my phone when I'm doing the dishes. I could do that while I was driving, when I was going to sleep at night. Um, in times when I was cooking, doing other things, doing chores like cleaning or sweeping the floor or all kinds of, even taking the dog on a walk. So number 4, I think, is one of the easiest to fit into your schedule, but sometimes we feel a little strange doing that all by ourselves, or we don't know what to say. So I'm going to check the comments here, but I'm curious, do you record yourself speaking in English or do you talk to yourself? Give me a yes, I talk to myself, or yes, I record myself, or no, and why? Is it because you don't know what to say? Is it because it feels strange? Um, I don't have enough time. You could say that, but I think everybody has some time before they fall asleep or when they're going to the bathroom or something. So I might challenge you on that. Okay, great. Sophia, that's awesome. Sophia says yes, she does. Sophia, do you record yourself and speak to yourself or just one of those? Okay, Jose says, I have 5 partners of conversation exchange. I like this. I have 5 women who help me, and at the same time, I can help them to speak French. That's awesome. So it sounds like you've taken some time to find speaking partners, and I do advise that you get more than one because oftentimes one can't meet sometimes or something like that, or I had one that lasted for 2 years, but I've had others that have lasted 1 or 2 months or 6 months. I have some that can talk every week, some that can talk twice a week, some that can talk once a month. So it's good to have more than one speaking partner. Okay, let's see. Sophia says both. Both, she does both. That's excellent, Sophia. Do you have a language exchange partner, Sophia? Because that would be the next thing you want to add. Or number 5, which I'm going to tell you here in just a minute. Floremile says, I have a partner and I read aloud. Reading out loud is a great thing that I don't have on the list today. But it is an important thing that can be helpful. I would say these other 5 things are more helpful, but reading out loud is a very good idea, especially if you have a teacher who helps you with that or helps you to find materials that are good for you to use in between class. Okay, Sophia, maybe consider looking for a conversation exchange or a language speaking partner. I have a whole video about will a language exchange help me to speak better? Yes, yes, yes. Go check out that video. Okay, so number 5 is shadowing. So we're going to practice some shadowing. Right now, I'm going to show you myself shadowing, and I'm going to go to my Instagram. You can use Instagram, you can use YouTube, you can use a blog, or not a blog, a vlog. You can use a podcast, a recording, television. Oh my goodness. There are so many different things that you can use. And I'm going to go to my saved videos, and I'm going to go to Spanish. And she's talking about I'm looking forward to, okay?
Meeting you. I'm looking forward to
So
seeing
you can hear her say it
And
in
we
English.
Say, tener muchas ganas de.
Tener
simply,
muchas ganas de, and see how I stopped the video just by tapping on it. Or if you're using YouTube, I was doing this with YouTube yesterday and I just paused the video. You can just let it continue and just pick up the things you can copy or shadow. Let's see if she says another.
Ganas de
Tener
something.
ganas de.
Yo tengo
Ganas de verte. Yo tengo ganas de verte.
Ir a comer.
Okay, now sometimes you have to tap it a few times to make it stop. She just said, tengo ganas de ir a comer a ese restaurante.
A ese restaurante.
A ese restaurante.
Verte, comer en ese restaurante,
ir de vacaciones. And see, what I like about Instagram is that was really short. Now, she was speaking some English, so I would choose a video where they're speaking only English, not English and Spanish or your native language and English, so that you can tap and hold, and then you can do it again and again and again. And I recommend that you do that. I recommend that you use the same video again, because like you saw with me, if you're a Spanish speaker, you know that I missed a lot of things. I could change the pronunciation, I could make it better. And so I will just, it's a very short video. I can do it again. When I use YouTube, I pick a part where the teacher is speaking in English, or pardon me, Spanish. A good video to use on my YouTube would be any of the stories. So go back and look for any of the stories. I've just done a couple recently where I'm talking about the food in one, where I'm talking about the tucking your shirt in another. Pick a 1 minute, or if you've done it for a while and you want to do 3 minutes or 5 minutes, pick a part, listen and shadow, listen and repeat. This will help with not knowing what to say. And it's a completely different way to practice your speaking, but you're getting different things than speaking to yourself, which you're getting pronunciation help, vocabulary, grammar, structure, all those things. So let me look and see what everybody says here. Okay, so OS says they read aloud together in one group with their speaking partners. Nice idea. Jose says, I don't have someone to maintain a conversation with me, so I use the mirror. Great idea, Jose. That is good, because for feeling like there's someone else there, but also for looking at how you're pronouncing things and how your mouth looks. For instance, the TH sound, you have to see your tongue, and the mirror will help you with that. Elizabeth says, I speak Spanish very well. Thank you. Let's see, what else here? Thank you for all the kind comments. Yes, Jose's saying that he learned a language on his own. You can learn a lot on your own. And especially now with YouTube and Instagram and all of the apps that are available out there, all of the things that you can go on Netflix and watch shows in lots of different languages, but of course, in English, there's a huge amount of information out there. Okay, so I gave you the 5 things, and we've talked about some bonus things here. Let me tell you what the 5 things were again. And while you're thinking of what your questions are, if you have a question about what we talked about today, put it in the comments. So number 1 is find a teacher or a tutor. And number 2 is a conversation or language exchange. Number 3 is record yourself speaking. Number 4 is speak with yourself, even if you're not recording yourself. And number 5 is shadowing. And I just gave you an example so you could see me shadowing. If you are interested in more information about what I've talked to you about here, I have a longer class. It's a video class called How to Become More Fluent Using Instagram. You can use it with Instagram, you can use it with YouTube, you can use it with any of the social media platforms. And I will put a link to that below. I've specifically made it very affordable so that it's something many people can afford. It's much less expensive than taking a class in person with me, but you get more of what I give in an in-person class. And it's all recorded. There's 7 videos, so you can listen to them anytime, anywhere, and work on it on your own. Let me see if there were any questions here. Carlos, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for your kind words. Ali, thank you, thank you. I need your experience teaching ESL. I'm happy to talk to you about that. The best way to contact me through a text is on Instagram. I do get to as many messages as I can here on YouTube, but they're a little different platform. So if you want to send me a text, check out my website where you can find my email. My website is www.englishcoach.com. I'm going to put it here. It's the same name as both my YouTube and my Instagram. EnglishCoach3Ts.com. There it is there. Or send me a direct message on Instagram. I don't have Telegram, sorry. And Carlos is asking me something in Spanish. I'm pretty good at speaking Spanish, but not on the fly. On the fly is another great phrase for you. I can't do it right now while I'm talking English and talking to other people. So Carlos, send me a message in Spanish here on the comments and the recorded video or over there on Instagram. Thank you, everyone who came. I hope you learned at least one new thing today or something that would be helpful. I can't wait to hear about if any of these things are helping you. So be sure to go to the recorded version and leave your comments on what is helpful. Leave your comments on what you need to know more about, and also what kinds of things you want me to talk about in these live videos that we do every Saturday at 1:30 Los Angeles, California time. All right. We will talk with all of you soon, and I'll talk to you then. Bye.